welcome to Val's Crafty Creations. Thanks so much for stopping by today. In this video, I will be sharing with you the first swap of the year for the Crafting Friends and Happy Mail Facebook swap group. As of the first of the year, the group is now for US members only. For the first swap of the year, I decided to make the New Year's themed mini pocket letter. My swap partner was Brenda. I have not received her mini pocket letter. I'll be back to share that in a future video, as well as the New Year's Day prize that I won from her. If you're unfamiliar with mini pocket letters, you're going to need a 9-pocket baseball sleeve. Hubby was able to locate a 50-pack on Amazon for me a while back. When I create a mini pocket letter, I grab my trimmer and I cut at the very top of the middle section and at the bottom. I like to choose the middle section because then I'm going to have a straight side on the side of my pocket letter. And then I just go ahead and throw the other 2 pieces into my notebook where I keep all my baseball sleeves. Those will not be wasted. First item. I will be using this black 65-pound paper from my Michaels stash. Grab my paper trimmer. And what I will do is cut the paper at 3.5 inches, which will be the height of the ATCs. You might need another piece of your paper. Before I cut this into the ATC size, what I'll do is run my double-sided adhesive right to the very edge. Taking my paper back to the trimmer. The ATCs are 2.5 inches wide. We'll go there. Score. And then slide over 1/4 inch. And then I will bring that score line to the 2.5 inch line. Score again. And then go over 1/4 inch. Score again. And then we have the second score line at the 2.5 inch mark. And now I can trim off that extra little bit of paper. I can grab my double-sided tape, just complete all the different sections. Go like that. I'm able to finish the end, making a square cut. Pretend that's all taped up. I have this 12 by 12 collection from Color Play, Hello New Year. And what I've done is pick out a sheet of this paper that's called confetti. We'll need to have that. In addition to that, I have some New Year's stickers and then the die cut pack. And I just keep with this collection this brushed gold piece of cardstock. So I'm using that. I do have a few of the cut apart sheets. A lot of times you can trim them down to where they will fit on the ATC. There was only one cut apart that had all the different words on it. I was able to have enough for this project. My sheet of paper, I will cut off a strip that is 3.5 inches high. Do a 1 at the 2.5. And then I would stick this on since my tape is already on there. Cut the next one. And the final one. scrap. That could come in handy later. So these would all be stuck onto the backing, and then I would take that and slide that over my paper trimmer, cut on those score lines. 3 ATC backgrounds that would have a pattern that would line up. Alright, stick that over here. We're done with the demonstration. And if you'd like to see how I created a mini pocket letter with a 6x6 paper pad, I will have that video linked in the description box. It was a lot of fun making that 4th of July pocket letter. My sanding block, that's always handy. And after I sanded each of the edges, I used my black soot ink. I found in my washi drawer this thin black washi tape. I thought it was solid black, then when I pulled it out I saw like little speckles on it. It's almost like flashes from a camera, so I thought that was pretty neat. I did end up using one tiny gold jump ring, so I have my pliers here, and use that jump ring to attach one of the mini clock charms to the side of my pocket letter. Gifted those at one of the live sales. I used my bottle cap mini number dies. Then I needed some lips for my ATC. Found my jar of chipboard pieces. So I dumped out the jar and I found all these different lip shapes. Saw the gold and black ones. I thought, oh, that's perfect. But the larger design did not fit on my pocket letter, and there happened to be one of the small ones in the black and gold. I have used that. I lost all my little clocks, so I'll have to dig those out, but that was the bag from that. Stick this over here. My mini Happy New Year pocket letter. Here on the edge, cut a 1/2-inch strip of the confetti paper, wrap that around, and then I punched a hole and stuck one of these gold tassels through the hole, and I found square gold brad, poke that through my hole, and wrap the cording from the tassel through there. Cut a 1/2-inch strip of the gold paper, glued that across there. Clock charm, the first ATC, pull that out. So we have the champagne bottle and champagne glasses. We have the pour the champagne, star stickers, silver holographic and gold holographic. Some of them are Sandy Lion and some of them are Mrs. Grossman. They added just a perfect little touch to the background. You can see the fireworks sticker here. The words I have backed with a little bit of that brushed gold paper. The die cuts, if they were resting on each other, I backed it with scraps of my black paper. So everything is all one level. And then we have toss the confetti, Happy New Year. Use the little numbers on the side there. This was one of the cut aparts. I was able to keep cutting it down until I could get it just small enough to give me that space on the side. We have the white holographic hat sticker and blower up here and down here, little stars. Rather than adding jemmies, which would create bulk in the pocket, I just went with the flat stars. And then the final one is Kiss Me at Midnight. We have these acetate fireworks stickers, and they were connected together. I cut them apart so that I could tuck one behind the clock and one on top. Here is a little lip sticker. Like I said, that was the only one in the container, so a little blemish on the lip. I hid that with one of the gold stars and the clock sticker. Cut off the little bit. Instead of just leaving that white edge, I've just gone ahead and used my black ink. It just makes it all nice and finished. These two, I use that washi tape across the bottom just to add something to the background. And this one, I put it on the top and the bottom. Then you flip it over. Each of the ATCs are really sturdy with the black paper. I added my name to each one. Those are the 3 ATCs in my Happy New Year pocket letter. It's over here. For my goodies, I grabbed my little jewelry bags that I purchased at Hobby Lobby and my little coin envelopes from Dollar Tree. The first pocket for the beverage, I have picked out one of these tea bags from Trader Joe's, the Winter Wake Up Tea. It's got the black tea with cinnamon and ginger, so hopefully Brenda likes that. Here's one of those, and I didn't want to decorate the envelopes. I thought she could possibly repurpose those. So we're going to stick our tea bag in there. I did have to fold over the side. Put the top flap of the envelope facing downward, and that way we don't have items coming out. For Happy New Year, we needed some confetti, so I found this multicolored sequin mix that I had purchased through the live sale. So I have a little baggie of that. We have the bright lights of New Year's, so I grabbed my bag of black bowl pins, and I have a little baggie with a dozen of those. So we're going to grab one of these and stick our items in there. Fold over the flap, leave it out. And stick that down inside there. Go ahead and add our third one. And for that pocket, I found an envelope where I've collected all kinds of different ephemera. Got some different tickets and things in there. So I picked out a few of those. You know, you might need a ticket to enter an event. And then I happened to find 2 of these lip-shaped paper clips in my Valentine's stash while I was getting those chipboard pieces. So I've just put those on there. And I will have to kind of fold those down just slightly. I don't want to bend them too much. So I'll stick those in there, fold down the flap, and add those to the back of our third pocket. Slide this over here. To package up my mini pocket letter, I have grabbed another sheet of my black cardstock. And I'll just demonstrate. I took the paper, see, horizontally here, made a crease 1 inch from each edge and 2 1/4 inches from the other edge. And I end up with a piece of paper that looks like this. So what I'm going to do is put my mini pocket letter in this piece of paper. I will fold up the edges, line it up, fold up the bottom edge and over the top, and then tuck it inside of itself. Put that over. That's going to look nice. I have these 2 spools of ribbon that I purchased at Dollar Tree. The Joy, Celebrate, Good Times, and this black grosgrain with the polka dots match perfectly with the collection. I saw those, I definitely had to purchase those. Cut a piece of the wider ribbon. I matched up the ends and folded them over. Put down another piece of double-sided tape there. So this is going to be our belly band around our pocket letter. And since the pocket letter is flexible, you can bend it. I'm going to make sure that that seam is right there in the middle. And then I took a piece of the other ribbon and tied a bow right there in the middle. Made sure that that was the right length. And I think that the bow will look nice. I wanted to include a few extra items. I have here my little bubbles from Michaels. So I shared some of those. And I had the gold and silver bows from Hobby Lobby that I had purchased from Donna. And I found my love letter and hugs and kisses sprinklets embellishments. So I'm sharing some of each of those. In the pack of washi tapes that I purchased at Target, there was this gold and silver tape, so I'm sharing around 20 inches of that just on the little embroidery floss spools. Here are the gold and silver tassels from Michaels. So I'm sharing one of each of those. To keep them all together, I used my little rubber bands from Dollar Tree. I die cut a few of the clock and gear dies out of black cardstock. Some of these champagne glasses and bottles with this Fisker's punch. So that's a good reason to set aside your scraps of paper. That worked out really great. On the back of the packaging, where I have gathered all of the little goodies, I used a Velcro dot. I took one of the clock and gear dies and trimmed it out to where it was just a clock, and backed it with this cream paper that I had distressed with frayed burlap distress oxide ink. Here is packaging of goodies that I have put together to go along with my mini Happy New Year pocket letter. Created the little bag topper, Happy New Year on top of some of the champagne glasses and bottles and the clock. Baggies of items there, a couple of the tassels, washi, punched out items there, and then the clocks and gears at the top. And I just used the confetti paper as the background, the bag topper. She'll just flip it over, open it up from the Velcro, and be able to access all of her little goodies. And everything is just in one of the little 5x7 bags that I normally package up my Memory Dex cards. I do have a sheet of tissue that I'll wrap around everything, and I found a couple of these cellophane bags from Dollar Tree that have the gold circles on them. Thought that was appropriate for New Year's. And I found one of the cut-aparts with the Celebrate on it. I have a couple packs of these star gem stickers from Dollar Tree, so I'm going to pick out one of those to add to the package. And I thought that is a great item to add because it will support the pocket letter. Completes my Happy New Year's themed mini pocket letter for the Crafting Friends and Happy Mail Facebook swap group. I'm going to get this bundled up and on its way to Brenda. Thanks again for stopping by today. You take care, and we'll see you again soon.